Hi, this is Dr. Nala Kalaf, the founder and CEO of PreWorks, a platform that empowers employees as well as employers to have a safe and productive workplace environment. So first, to give a little overview, I will start with a demo of the user interface. With the user, I mean both employers and employees. I will go through the functionality of the platform to show the display when you hit the landing page, demonstrate how an employee can report an injury or a COVID case, and how the platform provides recommendations depending on different needs for reporting, reviewing, or analyzing data. The recommendations for the employees can be super useful to provide access and tools to address their immediate needs and to have their work-related injury or condition be evaluated by their superiors. On the employer side, the platform data can be analyzed and used for predictive and prescriptive studies, as well as being managed and compared to other employers within the same industry. So let's start by looking at the login page. This is our basic login page. We can also create an account, and you might find some information here that we can also create a company. But today we're just going to be logging as a user, so we'll do that. So we want to make it easy to log in and test things. All right, so this is the landing page. You can see we have some information here. We got your name, your gender, and if you notice, this wasn't actually a thing on the login page. Then we have some of your other settings, your company. This is just a dummy company. So all the information here is about your company in general. And then we have this cute little picture of Pug as the profile picture. Now moving into companies. This is the list of companies that you're part of or have been part of. This is just so we can keep a history of the employee over time. So employees can review their employment history. And now we can see just the one company, the dummy company. But where I think this gets really interesting is in the reporting injury page, where you can see, again, companies you can choose. Then we have all these fields for reporting injury, and you can choose if you want to report, for example, COVID positive test or musculoskeletal injury, or even both. Here we have some questions. You might recognize a lot of these from the form you have to fill out at the time of the injury. And we got this really cool body diagram that you can select all the body parts involved in the injury or deselect them. Then we can report that in the database later, and we can get some more information on how it happened. For example, if you have the injury at work, have you reported it to anyone? For reporting the injury, you essentially want to give a little background information. So let's go through the process of how we would actually report an injury. So let's choose a date when the injury occurred, and let's just say it happened at a particular hour. We document the hour, and let's say the injury involved the left or right upper leg, and we can say it happened at work. Maybe I strained a muscle, and I reported it to my supervisor, and we're just gonna fill out the information related to supervisor name and how it happened and how the injury occurred. Okay, now let's just say I've been treated by a nurse back here, and we got to further describe the injury, submit that form, and we can get back to the profile page so the user knows that they reported an injury. And also this is the kind of home page where they are accessing all kind of documentations that they already filed before. we reported an injury. Let's go back to the injury page, and we're again presented with this data by that diagram. But this time, we can see different recommendations regarding this injury or any other injury. So we can see, I click on the upper leg, and we get this recommendation for leg injuries. So we can go here and see the different muscle groups and different strains, for example, that cause limited range of motion for this particular or related injuries. And then we can see optional treatments for whom, when to see a doctor, and then who to see. Let's just go back to the injury real quick. We have one injury reported because that was the only injury we reported so far. And we can do this with any other area of the body. We can pick, for example, chest area, the stomach area. We can go anywhere we want on the body and really choose where we want to learn about the injury. Say we can, we want to learn about the elbow injury. So we click on the elbow and we get information on elbow injuries. I think this is really cool for employees because this empowers them to take preventing injuries into their own hand and being able to educate themselves and having this platform to do that for them. Now that we reviewed the employees portion of the platform, where we saw how they report the injury and how they access different preventative methods for the injuries, we can see now the company access for the platform. Let's log in as a company real quick. And this is going to be really interesting because we can see different features this time where the employers are able to use them and have a unique database for them. As we see here, we have a little bit different information like a mailing address, employer name, we can use FedEx, industry type like aerospace, and then we have password. Basically, employers can complete their profile information in this area. So let's go to analytics, which I think is the core functionality for this platform. We can have machine learning background. We're giving some numbers here. So this is our expected costs annually, current costs, and the number of injuries that are common in a particular industry. So this is the expected cost given our industry, and then there are actual costs given how many injuries we've had this year. So we're seeing higher numbers above what's expected. So we can look into that. That's something concerning for an employer. Not only we see injuries, we also see the breakdowns of actual injuries that were reported this year. And you can also see different body parts that are involved in the injuries. And then we have a graph that shows how costs have changed over time. If we want to look at more information, for example, we can take the knee, take a look at the knee, and see the injury overview to get an insight whether there is an uptake of injuries over time. We can also look at back injuries and see the rate of injuries related to the back as well.